Welcome to the Dan Sports Tips MLB Daily Fantasy Preview Show for today, the 7th of September. I will be taking a look at everything you need for your daily fantasy games on DraftKings today. I'll be looking at starting pitchers, stacks of the day, how we can construct a lineup to maximise our point scoring potential, foundation players that should be used as the foundation to build a winning lineup upon, and a value player at each position. For anyone who hasn't had the opportunity to sign up and play daily fantasy sports with DraftKings yet, I'll stick a link in the description below this video that will enable you to do that today. Starting pitching, there are plenty of good pitching options around today. Lots of pricey ones too, no pun intended. David Price of the Boston Red Sox for $13,100. He's my top pitching selection today. He's a strikeout pitcher. He's got 193 and 192 third innings this year against the strikeout-prone Padres offense in an extreme pitcher's park at Petco. What is not to like? I will tell you what's not to like. The Padres have done a half-decent job against lefties this year. That being said, Price has been very good recently after his pre-All-Star break funk. He's gone 5-1 with a 2.87 ERA in his last 7 games. Carrasco of the Cleveland Indians for $12,300. After a spell of inefficient performance, Carrasco bounced back in a big way last time, so maybe we did miss the value boat on this one as the price has skyrocketed again against the Astros, who are the third highest strikeout total in baseball for the season. But Carrasco comes into this off of 7.1 shutout innings with 11 strikeouts against Miami. He has compiled 143 punch-outs in 135 and a third on the season and looks a really rock solid looking play today against Houston, though obviously that Astros lineup is always dangerous. Speaking of dangerous lineups, Drew Smyly of the Tampa Bay Rays for $7,800. This will not be a play for the faint of heart, as Smyly has shown a propensity for the long ball with 29 homers allowed this year, and obviously Baltimore do lead the league in home runs. Despite the 5 earned run horror show in 5 innings pitched against Boston last time in a no decision, Smyly is 4-0 with a 3.71 ERA in his last 7 games and does offer strikeout upside with 153 and 155 innings, and faces obviously the Baltimore team that can and does strike out often. Word of caution, he did allow 8 earned runs in his only start against them earlier this year, though that was at Camden Yards rather than power suppressing Tropicana Field as they will play at today. Brock Stewart of the Los Angeles Dodgers for $4,500. Stewart hasn't really been good through this young stage of his career. He's gone 0-2 with a 7.94 ERA, but he has compiled 18 strikeouts in the minute 17 inning sample size, and Arizona do rank top 5 for the league in strikeouts. Dodgers Stadium is a solid pitcher's yard. Stewart showed his upside with 8 strikeouts in 5 shutout innings against the Cubs in his last trip to the Hill, and there's worse you could do for $4,500 if you're looking to pay up elsewhere for hitters. And Mike Montgomery of the Chicago Cubs for $4,300. Just like Brock Stewart, Montgomery is a risk, if less of an unknown quantity than Stewart. The park in Milwaukee is obviously more hitter-friendly, and Milwaukee have done well against lefties this year. Montgomery has struck out 77 hitters across to 83 and 2/3 innings in all of his appearances, both relief and starters. He is 1-1 as a starter. His strikeout high is 7 against the Houston Astros. They are an offense that strike out in the top 3 with Milwaukee, who lead the league. As a converted reliever, he doesn't work deep into games either, but you're not going to need too much at this price, and he does have upside along with the risk. Looking at our stacks of the day, it's obviously right to start at Coors Field. San Francisco complete their trip to Coors today against Jorge De La Rosa, who does not profile that well for them. I will not be stacking Giants. They failed to score more than 3 earned runs off of Jorge De La Rosa the 3 times they've seen him this year. Twice they've faced him at Coors as well. They've not performed as expected with the bats at Coors this series either. Albert Suarez goes for the Giants on the hill today. He hasn't started against Colorado this season. He has not 6 innings over 2 relief appearances, including allowing 3 earned runs in 5 innings of a relief outing at Coors earlier this year. As a righty, the Rockies bats profile well against a pitcher with a 4.29 ERA who's not exactly been setting the world on fire, so I will take some Rockies today. Outfielder Raimel Tapia for $2,900. Assuming Blackman is out of the lineup again, he will hit in the leadoff spot with the platoon. He's hitting 412 with 2 stolen bases in 4 games. Outfielder Carlos Gonzalez for $5,300 will also enjoy the platoon. He's hitting .299 with 25 homers. He hit a slam in the first game of this series, and hopefully that breaks him out of his slump. Second baseman DJ LeMahieu for $5,000 is hitting .343 with 10 homers and 10 swipes on the year. Nolan Arenado at third for $5,500 is hitting .293. 36 homers. He's hit .433 with 6 bombs in his last 7 games. And outfielder David Dahl for $5,200 is also on the right side of the platoon, hitting .318 with 5 home runs. The only other stack that interests me today is the Atlanta Braves. The Braves will face Steven Strasburg. I am aware of that. Strasburg returns from the disabled list for the start after elbow trouble. That's usually a decent spot against the pitcher, both the elbow trouble and the return from the DL. His ERA against Atlanta this year sits at 4.26 in 3 starts, largely aided by the 6 earned runs against him 2 starts prior to his trip to the DL. So I went back for 3 more seasons for sample size just to check whether or not it was an anomaly, and find that Strasburg has a 3-4 record and a 3.52 ERA over 12 starts the previous 3 seasons. Now, that isn't bad, but it certainly isn't dominant, and it's enough to make me play a Braves stack. That's either going to make me look like a genius or a complete idiot, and I'm comfortable with both, to be honest. The Braves stack today at first base, Freddie Freeman for 4,800, has 4 home runs off of Strasburg and enjoys the platoon. He's hitting 294 with 29 homers this season, 351 with 5 homers in the last 15 games. Outfielder Endy Inciarte for 4,600, has the platoon advantage and has hit a home run off of Strasburg. He's hitting 295, 3 homers, 13 steals a year, batting 452 in the last 7 games. Third baseman Adonis Garcia for 3,800, 272, 13 homers on the year, 387 with 2 homers in his last 7 games, and Nick Markakis in the outfield for 3,500 will also enjoy the platoon. He's hitting 265 with 9 home runs this year. My foundation players today at first, I will take Anthony Rizzo of the Chicago Cubs for 5,300. He enjoys the platoon and has a home run against Matt Garza, hitting 294 with 28 homers and hit the ball out of the yard twice yesterday. Second baseman Brian Dozier of the Minnesota Twins for 5,600 enjoys the platoon against Danny Duffy. He's hitting 278 with 39 homers on the year, 364 with 11 home runs in his last 15 games. Third baseman Kyle Seager of the Seattle Mariners for 4,300. He'll enjoy the platoon against AJ Griffin. 290 hitter with 25 homers, hit 2 home runs in his last 7 games. Shortstop Francisco Lindor of the Cleveland Indians for 4,800. The switch hitter's hitting 316 with 14 homers and 16 steals on the year. He's hit 414 in his last 7 games. And outfielder Domingo Santana, who usually qualifies as a value play but not today, of the Milwaukee Brewers, is 4,800. He'll enjoy the platoon against Mike Montgomery. He's excellent against left-handed pitchers, we know, when we put him up as a value play, and he hit 2 home runs the last time he faced a lefty. He's hitting 252 with 6 homers this year, and as I say, he's got those 2 home runs in his last 7 games. For my value plays today, Stephen Vogt of the Oakland Athletics for 3,600. Enjoys the platoon against Alex Meyer today. He does hit high in the order for a catcher. He's hitting 258 with 11 homers this year. First baseman Matt Adams of the St. Louis Cardinals for 3,400. Enjoys the platoon against Jameson Taillon. 250 hitter with 14 home runs, and he's gone out the yard in back-to-back games. My second baseman is Steve Pearce of the Baltimore Orioles, who can be used at first as well. He's 3,800 today. Has very good splits when he faces left-handed pitching, which he will do so with Drew Smyly today. He's hit Drew Smyly out the yard before. He's a 292 hitter with 13 homers. Third baseman Alex Bregman of the Houston Astros for 3,900 is a 264 hitter with 7 home runs, but he's hit 355 with 2 homers in his last 7 games. Shortstop Freddie Galvis of the Philadelphia Phillies for 3,600. The switch hitter is hitting 236 with 16 home runs this year. He's got 13 stolen bases to add upside on the base paths, and he's gone out the yard twice in the last 7 games. And in the outfield, I'll take Adam Jones of the Baltimore Orioles for 3,800. He also enjoys the platoon and has a home run against Drew Smyly. He will hit at the top of that lineup. 278 hitter with 26 home runs. He's gone 333 with 2 home runs in his last 7, which includes 1 yesterday. That is what I've got for you today. Best of luck with your lineups, and I will see you tomorrow. Thanks for watching the show. Don't forget to like the video. Hit me up in the comments with the daily fantasy plays you like today, and press that subscribe button. Follow me on Facebook and Twitter. I will be here all MLB season and through the NFL season with daily fantasy sports advice. If you haven't signed up yet, or you're interested in starting to play daily fantasy sports, please click the link in the description for this video, and that'll take you where you need to go to start playing with DraftKings today. Best of luck with your lineups, and have a great day.